All right, guys, so you lost another argument and it sucks. It's like you're feeling one of two ways. One is you're just in trouble again, or you're in the doghouse and there's no room for you. And you can't understand why everything that you're doing is wrong, and you're just going to wait for things to blow over. It's terrible. The other thing is maybe you feel like you're on fire because you feel disrespected, you feel not understood, you feel like you can't get your point across, you just feel like this disconnection, and it kills you. And every time this happens, it just makes the gap a little bit wider. And I want you to know you're not crazy for feeling any one of those things. That's the whole point of this video, is like why most men fail at conflict and how to win. Because that's what we want to do. We want to win, right? And I've got to be very clear. How I define winning is not powering over someone, control, dominance, none of those things. And if that's the type of video you're looking for, then you need to swipe away. This is about winning, being healthy, adult, connected. There's room for me, and I feel valued and appreciated and respected. And there's room for my wife, and she feels appreciated and valued and respected. And we can film this video in front of my kids' goofy drawings, which is awesome. Okay? That's what I mean by winning. The other thing I need to define is what is conflict. And I want you to think about the distinction between if you're with your buddies and you just had a fantasy football draft and you're arguing over which player's better or whatever, or if you went Christian McCaffrey again in the first round, which I did, unfortunately, you're arguing. Voices are raised. You might have some passion behind it, but the thing is that it's fun. There's no threat. There's no tension. And so when it comes to home, conflict is when there's tension or something happens. And here's the key. It happens in your nervous system. Your nervous system is starting to go into fight or flight mode. And so you have to be able to track that. You have to be able to understand as soon as that is happening, oh, whoa, I'm starting to go into fight or flight. Whoa, I'm starting to feel threatened. Whoa, I'm going to react one of two ways. I'm going to want to shut things down and just, okay, fine, whatever. Let's just get on with this. I don't care. Let's tell me what I need to say so we can stop this. Or you're going to go, no, I'm going to stay here and fight with you until you get it, until you understand, until I'm right. And neither one of those extremes is going to help you win, help you be connected. It's terrible. And it's just going to go around and around and around. So let me give you an example. Wife comes home. This is not a real example, by the way, but it happens to all of us in some form or another. Wife comes home, sees the kitchen is a mess, and she goes, I feel like I'm the only one that cleans around here. Okay? Now, without these skills, that statement can feel like an attack. It can feel like a jab. It can feel personal. And so the man can respond with oh, well, I work all day and I don't feel like you appreciate all the work that I do. And what's happening in that moment is you now have two messages. And conflict is what happens when two people are trying to share their message at the same time. It can't happen. It's like telephone. Some people you can't talk over each other. So the wife has this original message. I'm feeling not appreciated, not valued, which is an understandable experience to have. That doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean she is the only one that cleans. But that core message of I'm not feeling appreciated or valued is a real one. And that has to be listened to, or else it never goes away. The other one with the husband going, well, I work all day. I feel like you don't respect or value what I do. Okay? The wife could go, of course I do. And now you're going back and forth on that, but that's not winning. That's arguing again. That's fighting, and no one's being heard. And so there has to be an understanding of these two messages are going on. Somebody has to be able to, once you track your nervous system, you got to go into, I got to listen to it. Somebody has to listen. Somebody has to be able to go, all right, I hear you saying that you don't feel like, or you feel like you're the only one that does the dishes around here. Wonder what that would be like. Wonder, honestly, in curiosity, what would that be like to feel like you're the only one that does any cleaning at all around the house? Well, that would suck. That would feel really discouraging. That would feel really isolating and lonely and like you're being taken advantage of and you're discouraged. And yeah, it was a terrible feeling, and that's where you can repair and you can go, I'm so sorry you feel that way. That sucks. Thanks for sharing with me, because clearly you don't want to feel that anymore. And so by sharing it with me, you feel better because it's gotten out in the open. And then you can go, what are you needing from me to help with that? And you might get, well, I need you to do the dishes right now. Or you might get, nothing, I just need to vent. That happens a lot. Or vice versa. The husband goes, well, I'm at work all day. I don't feel like you value or respect the time I get. Okay. The wife could go, well, that's not true. I do respect it. But again, she's got to pause and go, well, what does that mean? What would that be like to work? And that's why they call it work, because it's not always fun and it's hard and you deal with a lot of difficult things and all day and carrying the dad weight, the husband weight, the man weight of like responsibility and providing for your family. What would that be like to do all that and to carry that day after day and not feel that anybody notices or not feel that anybody appreciates that or respects that? That's where the wife could come in and go, oh gosh, that sounds super lonely and like a heavy burden and discouraging. And more often than not, that's what people need to hear. And so if you can listen and start validating that message, there's no room for the conflict to go. There's no need for that fight or flight response to happen because there's no threat anymore. Like there's room for that message to be heard and listened to. So you got to learn how to listen. You got to understand your nervous system, what's happening for me. What am I doing? What am I trying to do that's keeping me from listening? And then you got to learn to be able to be a good listener. And so here's how you win this fight. Here's what this looks like. Wife comes home. I feel like I'm the only one that cleans around here anymore. In that moment, I go, whoa, something just shifted in my nervous system. Awareness. And then I go, I didn't like that. That felt kind of disrespectful. That felt attacking. Like, I'm tired. I had a long day. You're kind of doing a self-assessment. And then in that moment, I have two choices. I can go, I'm not really feeling appreciated, but, is my message more important than hers right now? You got to make that judgment call. Can I pivot and start to listen? And when you can take a step back and you go, wait a second, she just told me this morning on my way to work. She's like, thank you. I so appreciate you working for our family. Like, oh yeah, I forgot that part. Okay, so maybe that message is real. Maybe I'll share that with her later, but I know I can't do that now because conflict happens when two people are trying to be heard at the same time. So I can pause and I can listen. That's one option. The other option I can do is go, like that didn't feel good. I'm trying to check my nervous system. I am tired. I am exhausted. I just don't have room for this right now. And that's allowed. You can say, hey, your message, I know you're trying to share something with me and I know it's important. I can't listen right now in the way that you need. Give me time. I'd like to do it later. That's a huge line. I can't listen in the way that you need right now and I'd like to. Give me some time. Okay? You can do one of those two things. Because really, there is technically an option number 3, and that's to keep fighting, but you know where that leads. So there's no point in you doing that. So you pick one of these two. I can pivot and I can listen, or I can tell you respectfully, kindly, I can't right now because I'm a human being. And of course you are. And ideally, if you do that, your wife or girlfriend or whatever is able to go, oh, like I need you to listen, but I get it. She's got to do her own work. She's got to have emotional regulation skills too. And if you say that calmly and clearly, and she keeps coming at you, and then you say, no, I'm telling you, I know what you're saying is important. It is. I want to hear it. I can't do it right now in the way that you need, but I want to do it later. If she can't listen to that, then you have permission for me to go to the room, get away, go for a drive. That's her own growth. Okay? My wife and I use this phrase, is your gate open? Is your gate closed? So in that moment, it's like, my gate is closed. My gate is closing. I can't listen to you. The flip side of that is, hey, is your gate open? Meaning, giving each other the benefit of like, hey, I'm cueing you. This is the code word or the word, the system that we use before we try to send this message that could lead to conflict about love or respect or finances or any other hot topic issue. If you start with, hey, is your gate open? It's giving each other the best possible chance to listen and have it go well. So imagine that. I say, hey, is your gate open? Then she gets to do the work and go, how's my nervous system? Do I have the bandwidth? Do I have room? If I do, then I'm preparing myself to try to listen to something that I might disagree with or might be difficult, but like that gives her the best chance. Or she might go, actually, my gate is closed. And then I go, hey, thank you. Like, I respect that because I want to be heard. I want to be seen. I want to be understood. And I know if I try to like fight through the gate right now, it's not going to go well. It's going to go to a fight and something bad because the nervous system can't handle it. So by respecting the gates, it makes it better in the long run. You might feel like you've lost the battle, so to speak, because you didn't get to say what you needed to say, but you win the war. You win because you're connected and you're gonna have healthy conflict. Okay, so most men don't know how to do that. And to be fair, like, where would we ever see that modeled? Where were we taught that? Not a lot of places. So I make this video to help support you, and I hope this is helpful. And if you got any questions, write a comment, please. Give a like or subscribe if it's helpful. And for men, if you want more free resources, follow me on School. There should be a link in the description.